Hey folks, Positive Paul here. Hey, it's Saturday, November 28th, 2020, of course. And, this one is going to really send shockwaves once again through YouTube land, which remember, it's only one aspect of the damage control program that was needed by the Satanist to contain the last few remaining satanic ritual abuse survivors of any consequence. Now, if you're a human being and suffered from any type of abuse, we hope that your peace of mind rests with God. And, again, folks, I'm looking for all these people in my age group, and they're nowhere to be found. So here's how we're going to do this. Today, we still have some phony targeted individuals that are still hanging on by a thread. And remember, folks, how many phonies, how many frauds, how many disinfo agents does it take for one satanic ritual abuse survivor that, is still hanging around, being a pain in the ass, won't go away? Well, I'll let you decide that. But here's where their problem started. Now, one of the many myths or possibly truths about the Montauk Project is that upon doing this time travel, the people involved would essentially become, we'll say this, like the boy in the bubble. And they can't be touched because a time paradox was created. Now, as Preston told us, all the way back when, in the early 90s, that there cannot be a time paradox, meaning there's two of you walking around somewhere. And if the two of you were to meet, there would be devastating implications concerning that. Now, I'm not sure about that, but what I can tell you is also, we know Al told us that, well, the reason why him and Duncan couldn't be touched is because they needed both of them to dampen the timeline. As Mother Earth every 20 years during the middle of August goes through, something syncs up. There's a synchronization of the Earth's biorhythms along the magnetic ley lines that allows these sad sack Satanists that, are lackeys for Satan and these fallen angels, these entities, that allows them to access dimensional portals. Now, here's what went wrong starting early this year. Now, they knew this was going to occur at the end of 2019, and they were doing their best to try to get a handle on it. But as you see, around February of 2020, on one of my Richard Bruce videos where I'm lambasting him, you see the double lens flare. Now, nobody anywhere on social media can show this. Now, the reason being is you would have had to been involved well over 40 years ago in these satanic rituals concerning time travel, concerning accessing these dimensional portals, which are done through rituals. And the people that were involved would be wired up. They'd have implants up and down throughout their body. And, if everything went well, which, folks, it apparently, it didn't always go well. Young boys died. And the people that were used in these rituals to access these dimensional portals are all but gone except for me. Now, one might say, well, who do you think you are? Well, if you've been listening to me for the past 4 years, you know who I am, and I'm your worst nightmare. Now, the double lens flare, and also what you see right here is a Palladian, shrunken down to nothing, but the electromagnetic signature is there. There's the double lens flare. I did my best to try to get the fingerprints off the old iPad, but you can clearly see the double lens flare. So what happened is they needed to correct that, because what was taking place is the artificial intelligence that controls this dimension, this construct, this reality was breaking down. And that's why you have, guess what? You know what? The big V, right? Everybody's got to put their mask on now. Because what have I told you, folks? Humans are outnumbered by hybrids. And when the artificial intelligence construct begins to break down, they become exposed. But these lazy lying lizards that they just keep putting up on social media, remember, it's pop goes the weasel. One goes down, another goes up. All right? It's just a comedy show. It's a vaudeville act, like this big investigation down here in Rosarito Beach concerning me, how they duped all the good Mexicans. And there are good Mexicans. And I will still not turn my back on the ones that turn their back on me, folks. Because I want to see humans make it. Now let's do this, folks. Now that I gave you a little primer, let's go over some of these phony TIs again. Now, here's Michael Barden on one of his recent videos, and this is the very moment he starts the video, and you could tell he's nervous. They always got to move their eyeballs, the wackadoodle eyeballs, left and right. And I don't, trust me, folks, I don't look for the most, a screen capture of them looking at their worst. This is what it is the way I'm explaining it. So here's Barden, all right? He can't stay focused, but you have to understand what he was talking about and why he kept needing to look over. Now, he was claiming, what, a year and a half ago, oh, his business is sabotaged, I gotta move. He's in this cushy house again. He maybe never moved, all right? It was all a farce, folks, because we know, as I've shown over 2 years ago, this is a flaming, lazy, lying lizard, a Draco hybrid, a plant put into the TI community to mislead people. Oh, Q. Hey, whatever happened? Your boy Trump, the 66,000 indictments. Oh, Q. The white hats. It's all a farce, folks. But you don't get that. You go ahead. You keep going down the primrose path with your rose-colored glasses and hope for the best. Now, remember, all right, when you see that glazed over eyeball, the opaque eyeball, the marbleization of the eyeball, that's not a human. That's a hybrid. Now, it's going to get better from here, folks. Again, he's got to look over. And look, his thumb, if you watch this video, his one thumb is red. And it could be a shadow. Look, I'm not, I never claimed to be a genius at this. But remember, my batting average is 100%, folks. Because no one's has yet to challenge me. They don't come on my videos to support me. So there's a couple clues for all you Sherlock Holmes out there, all right? Now, here is another recent video of him. And as I view the video, look, there's 999 views and 66 comments. Now, again, how many times do you think I could show this, folks? This is not a coincidence that this happens to me over the years from day one back in 2016, all right? But that's neither here nor there. He's complaining about, I don't know, missing child support money. Now, what do I tell you, folks? All right, they're always licking their chops, just like they just finished a ham sandwich and trying to get the mustard and mayo off their lips. Always licking their chops. Always having to look over. Can't keep focused on what they're talking about. They stymie up because it's all a big act. Now, what I want to show you is, folks, is his hand. Look at his hand. And it's almost cartoonish. It's a transparency. You see the weld in the two fingers happening. You see his lips. Now look, human beings do get dry lips and they'll stick together when you're speaking. So you can see that effect on a human being. But when you see it on these hybrids, it's different. Remember, you can separate the one from another. Now look at his fingers, folks. Look at that. Look at his what is it? The index finger. It's clawing out. It's almost it's triangular and it's transparent. Do you see that, folks? And what's he doing? He's licking his chops again. He's getting ready to. All right. Let's make sure you see this. All right. Now, what is going on here? Do you see how the index finger now it like it's stumpish. It turns into a stump, and literally the other one of them is missing. Come on, folks. Do you understand who you're talking to? Who you're watching? You phonies? Not my good subscribers. Remember, folks, I have to, I guess, keep saying if we are like-minded, then we're friends. If not, look out. Now look, see the graying on the missing finger? Do you understand what's taking place? That this flaming Draco hybrid and his phony act, TI act, targeted individual act, he can't keep it together. None of them can. And what did I tell you? The eyeballs, the lips, and the hands are the three things we look for. Now look, let's make sure, kids at home, all right, that you understand what you're looking at. I'm going to try to make sure that, there we go. Look at that, folks. Do you see the electromagnetic distortion? And here we go, folks. His pinky's missing. Ain't that cute? Another three-fingered Louie. How about that, folks? How about that? A three-fingered Louie. Here's your boy, Michael Barden, one of the biggest phony plants in the TI community. Now let's look at his buddy, Ochu. All right? I've done this video a long time ago. This is the only video that Ochu appears in where he shows his face. And he never, after this video, did that ever again because he was so nervous. It's a 2-minute and 30-second video, and he could not keep it together. So what do I tell you, folks? They always got to touch themselves. Now here's what happens. They know when they're starting to shift and when things are going haywire and wacky. They purse their lips, all right? They turn their head, they purse their lips, all right? Again, he understands what's happening, and then he can't resist. He has to start covering his face. He's fidgeting. You can clearly see his teeth got a problem. But it gets worse, folks. Look at his expression. He's saying to himself, why am I doing this? I can't do this. I'm just a dopey, flaming Draco hybrid with a pea brain that can't keep it together. And I'm an embarrassment to these Satanists. But yet these Satanists don't care about these TIs, right? When they're used up, what do you think happens to them? They're put in the wood chipper probably, right? According to Donnie Marshall. Now look, see, he just can't keep it together. And it's because this is the very moment he started talking about gang stalking and people being paranoid. And you just, hey, you gotta follow along, folks. Again, you don't need to be a Magnum PI, okay? There he is. Now watch this. As he pulls his finger away, There you go. The claw. Do you see that, folks? Do you see that? I want to make sure you people understand what you're looking at. Not who, what. Now it gets worse. He has to cover. Now he knows, God forbid his sunglasses weren't on because you would see the snake eye.